What was the first word ever spoken? Nobody knows what the first word ever spoken was. Not scientists, not linguists, not anthropologists, not anyone. And that's strange. Because we know the names of kings who lived thousands of years ago. We know what people ate in ancient Egypt. We know what weapons were used in the Stone Age. But the first word? The very first sound that transformed our species forever? It's completely lost. And yet that single word may have been one of the most important moments in human history. Because before language, humans were just another intelligent animal. After language, we became something else entirely. So what was the first word ever spoken? To answer that question, we have to travel back to a world before words existed. Imagine waking up 200,000 years ago. You're standing on the African savanna. There are no cities, no books, no writing, no names, no stories, no history. Humans already look like us. They have the same brains, the same emotions, the same fears, the same curiosity, but something is missing. If you want to tell someone there's danger nearby, you can't simply say lion. That word doesn't exist yet. If you want to tell someone where food is located, you can't explain it. If you want to tell a story about yesterday, or make a plan for tomorrow, or teach a child something important, you have a problem. Because complex language has not arrived. Communication probably existed. Lots of it. Our ancestors could gesture, point, laugh, cry, scream, make sounds. Modern chimpanzees can communicate dozens of different messages using calls and body language. Early humans almost certainly did much more than that. But communication is not the same thing as language. Language allows something extraordinary. It allows ideas to move from one mind into another. And once that happens, knowledge can survive longer than the individual who discovered it. That changes everything. Which raises a fascinating question. How does language even begin? Imagine two ancient humans standing beside a river. One notices a dangerous animal nearby, maybe a lion, maybe a snake, maybe something else. At some point, someone might have made a sound, not a random scream, a specific sound, a sound that always meant the same thing. And maybe, for the first time, another person understood exactly what that sound meant. That moment might have been the birth of a word. The first true word may not have been philosophical, or poetic, or intelligent. It may have been something incredibly simple. Danger, food, come, look, run. Some researchers believe the earliest words were probably connected to survival. Because survival is what mattered most. If a sound helped keep people alive, it spread. If it didn't, it disappeared. Over thousands of generations, these sounds became more consistent, more useful, more precise. A sound became a symbol became a word. And words began building something much bigger. Shared reality. For the first time, humans could discuss things that weren't directly in front of them. A lion over the hill, a river beyond the trees, a hunt planned for tomorrow, a memory from last year. This sounds ordinary to us, but it is one of the most powerful abilities ever discovered. Because the moment humans could talk about things that weren't present, they escaped the limits of the present moment. And once that happened, civilization became possible. Knowledge could accumulate. One generation could build on the discoveries of the previous one, instead of starting over every time. Think about what that means. Someone discovers which berries are poisonous. They tell others. Someone learns where animals migrate. They tell others. Someone figures out a better hunting technique. They tell others. Suddenly information survives, and when information survives, intelligence compounds. This is one reason many scientists believe language is the greatest technology humans ever invented. Not the wheel, not agriculture, not writing, language, because every other technology depends on it. Without language, you cannot teach. Without teaching, you cannot accumulate knowledge. Without accumulated knowledge, there are no civilizations, no science, no history, no internet, no YouTube video discussing the first word ever spoken. And yet, there is another mystery hiding inside this story. Maybe there was never a first word, at least not the way we imagine. Perhaps language didn't appear in a single moment. Perhaps it emerged gradually. One sound, then another, over thousands of years, like a sunrise. You can't point to the exact second night becomes day. But eventually, daylight arrives. Language may have evolved the same way, slowly, almost invisibly, until one day humans could do something no other species on Earth could do: share ideas across time. And maybe that's the real answer. The first word isn't important because of what it meant. It's important because of what it started. The first word led to the first conversation. The first conversation led to the first stories. The first stories led to culture. Religion, history, civilization, everything that makes us human. So what was the first word ever spoken? We will probably never know. It might have meant danger, or food, or come here, or look. The actual word has vanished forever, lost somewhere in the last 200,000 years, but we do know one thing: whoever spoke it had no idea what they were starting, because from that tiny sound came every book ever written, every song ever sung, every idea ever shared, every civilization ever built. And perhaps the strangest part of all, the first word is still echoing today. Every time you open your mouth and speak,